fast. It was a few-minute ordeal, 2 or 3 minutes at the beginning, and or maybe 1 to 2 minutes, and then 1 to 2 minutes when he came back in the theater. It wasn't.
Do you think that you would recognize him again if you saw him?
I think so, yes.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. I'm ending the interview. It is 16:20 hours.
All right, you can pop it out. Do you have any further questions for this witness? Okay.
Detective.
Good morning.
Detective, what was your role in this case?
To go to the hospital and make contact with a female victim.
Is that the only assistance that you gave Detective Proctor in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You never went to the autopsy?
No, sir.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Escobar. And thank you, Detective. You are excused. All right, State, how many more witnesses do you have? One?
Yes, sir, one
One.
judge.
Is that the technician?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Detective Aaron Smith.
How much time do you think he's going to take on direct examination?
No.
Just an estimate, again, I'm not gonna cut you off, I'm just trying to figure out.
Including the video, Judge? Or
Yes.
I would say approximately 30 minutes or so.
All right, cross-examination, Mr. Escobar, how much time, including your use of the video if you choose to use it?
Your Honor, probably I would say 30 minutes.
All right, so we have about an hour of state testimony left. We'll call it an hour and a half because I am not as optimistic as you two gentlemen as to how long that will take. So let's say probably an hour and a half of that testimony left. It's 12:13, so I'm thinking it's lunchtime. How much time, State, would you want for lunch today? Can we be back here and ready by 1 o'clock if I let you go in the next 2 minutes?
Yes, sir.
1 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Escobar, is that sufficient?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we're gonna break. We're gonna come back at 1 o'clock. When we come back at 1 o'clock, State, you'll have your last anticipated witness.
Yes, sir.
I know this doesn't happen very often in a bond hearing, but this isn't the average bond hearing. You gonna have any rebuttal witnesses?
Judge, I'd like Detective Proctor to be kept because I'm going to be calling him again in rebuttal.
Okay, so how much time do you anticipate that you would want Detective Proctor available for?
Your Honor, we may be able to stipulate to the introduction of a certain piece of evidence, and I won't even call him at all, but if we can approach...
Well, why don't you have a chat then during the break about that? So let's think, if he gets called, we're talking 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so that means I've got approximately 2 hours of testimony left. That means that I would be then proceeding to hear closing arguments of the bond hearing, or do you want Ms. Olson to make her statement beforehand? Because that's gonna be up to the state. Have you had a chance to talk to her about that since we? Why don't you let me know after lunch? That way she doesn't have to. And State, you understand what I'm saying, and you're gonna be able to explain it to Ms. Olson if she decides that she wants to make a statement for purposes of the bond hearing. Because of the confrontation clause, Mr. Escobar gets to ask her questions. If she wants to make a statement, just to make a statement to the court, she can do that. However, it would be after I made my decision. So if, it's entirely up to her, I don't have a problem with it either way, all right? So we'll hear that after we get back. So it looks like we are on track to finish by 6 o'clock. How much time would you anticipate you're gonna need for your closing argument in the bond hearing, Mr. Garcia?
Judge, I would anticipate 45 minutes to, probably 45 minutes to an hour.
45 minutes for your closing argument in the bond hearing?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Escobar, how much time do you think you're gonna need? I know we've heard a lot of stuff,
Well,
but,
there's a lot of evidence that the court needs to consider.
and trust me, you've known me now for 7 years, you know I reviewed all my notes last night, and so I've reviewed all the testimony that I heard, I read both of your briefs already, so please don't feel it's necessary to tell me everything that I heard on Wednesday and everything that I heard today again. Please don't feel that's necessary. Mr. Escobar, same. How much time?
You know, I think about 30 minutes I should be able to get it done.
All right, so we'll call it an hour for each side approximately. And that puts us at about 5 o'clock. Actually, this might work out. Okay, so great. Then we will be back here at 1 o'clock to begin again.
Can we approach the prosecution and I just briefly?
Briefly, yes.